Hello everyone, this is Professor Sujata Sharma and today we are going to be talking about a very exciting topic, and that is James Webb Space Telescope pictures. You must have heard so much about them in the recent past, and why not? We are seeing such beautiful, exciting pictures. We are seeing a shining and sparkling horizon in the space. We are seeing baby stars being born. We are also seeing the landscape of a dying star, and we are seeing four galaxies which are dancing around each other. Let's get to know these things a bit more. Let's go back to 412 years ago, around the year 1609 to 1610, when Galileo Galilei, that is also the father of modern astronomy, designed his own telescope and actually started looking into the space. What all did he discover? He discovered so much. But the major discoveries that he made were craters on the moon, phases of Venus, moons of Jupiter, and so many stars of the Milky Way. And that is how modern astronomy actually began. It progressed, of course, and in 1962, Orbiting Solar Observatory, that is OSO, series of American space telescopes which are primarily intended to study the sun were launched. Of course, as you can see from the name, it was meant to study the sun, but it did a lot more. Finally, if we move forward, in 1990 was a landmark year because NASA series of great observatory satellites were launched. There were four telescopes which were launched between 1990 and 2003. One of them, known as Hubble, almost became a household name because it started sending beautiful pictures, recording and sending them back to us. And this particular telescope was named after a very famous astronomer known as Edwin Hubble. So what all did Hubble observe? It observed a lot. However, these are some of the most famous observations. It determined the age of the universe. It determined that black holes are in the center of galaxies and the process of planet formation. Also, the presence of methane on one of the moons of Jupiter. And finally, it also determined the 5 moons of dwarf planet Pluto. Now, this is one of the most famous pictures that Hubble recorded. This picture is of a nebula which is known as Eagle Nebula, and as you can see, these beautiful pillars, 3 pillars which are also known as pillars of creation because they are part of active star forming region. So over here you can see stars being born from these pillars of creation. However, the idea was to keep on improving the resolution of this particular telescope. So James Webb Space Telescope was launched on December 25th, 2021, that is Christmas Day, and it was named after NASA administrator James Webb. So how was this particular telescope different from Hubble? It was better than Hubble because it has a broader range of infrared wavelengths, it has got a bigger mirror and a better pixel resolution. Its distance is around 1 million miles from Earth, and how many light years away can it see? It can actually see 13.6 billion light years away. So this was one of the first pictures that this particular telescope released. Isn't this beautiful? It's actually a cluster of galaxies which is almost 4 billion light years away from Earth. The name is SMACS 0723. According to NASA, it's the deepest and the sharpest infrared image of the distant universe to date. The next image was of a dying star. That is the Southern Ring Nebula, almost 2,000 light years away from Earth. As you can see in the center, you're having a blue colored dying star, and all around it is an expanding cloud of gas. It's not as if this is the first time we are observing this kind of an image. However, the clarity and the resolution is superb. As you can see over here, I have put the image of this particular nebula, which was recorded by Hubble, on the left side, and on the right side is the same thing which is recorded by James Webb Space Telescope. You can see the difference in resolution and clarity. It also recorded Stephan's Quintet. Now, what is Stephan's Quintet? It's a group of 4 galaxies which form the first compact galaxy group ever discovered. As you can see, they are literally dancing around each other. And this particular picture shows how, upon interacting, the galaxies are actually beginning star formation into each other. You can see all the stars all around. The most famous picture so far which has been sent by this telescope is also known as cosmic cliffs of CARINA Nebula. CARINA Nebula was actually discovered in 1752. It's a turbulent cloud of gas and dust, which is actually a birthplace and a graveyard for some of our Milky Way's stars. And it's not as if we didn't have a picture of CARINA Nebula before, but this picture is so beautiful because it is so clear. You can actually see the stars being born over here. This is almost 8,500 light years away. And these cliffs and the mountains that you're actually seeing are nothing but gases and radiation, which are giving rise to new stars. Now, as I was saying, towards the left is the same image which is taken by Hubble. Towards the right is the James Webb Space Telescope picture of the same. You can see how beautifully this particular telescope has captured and what an improvement it is. Finally, how could our planet Jupiter be far behind? Very recently, the picture of Jupiter was released, and one of the moons, which you can see towards your left, was also seen, and you were able to see distinct bands and rings around Jupiter. And what is most interesting is that the Great Red Spot, which is actually nothing but an enormous storm which is brewing on top of Jupiter, and it's so big that it can actually swallow Earth. You can see that also on the surface of the moon, only you will see it as a white spot because this is an infrared image. Now this is just to show you the website of James Webb Space Telescope. As you can see, this is the web address. You can go over there and you can access this in real time. This is my YouTube channel, Science Popularization by Professor Sujata Sharma. Please do subscribe to this so that you can get more updates about this and much more in science. Science is so exciting and it's so good to be updated all the time because science simply makes you feel as though you're part of the universe. So keep smiling and keep shining and do subscribe. Thank you so much.